Good afternoon and welcome back to the Over 40s Fitness Podcast. My name is Tristan Lowe. Here we are, mid-August 2024, and today's short subject, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, if you look at the sign here, is women in gyms. Okay, why have I called it today's subject, women in gyms? And that's because for the last, I would say, 4, maybe 5, 6 years, but certainly 4 years, I've noticed, and therefore somebody else has already noticed before me, an influx of young women between the age of, let's say 18, let's even go even further down, let's say 16 up to early 20s, let's say 16 to 21, 22, maybe even 25, but certainly within that 10-year age bracket at most. I've seen an uptake, a visible, and there's evidence to show it as well, of young women joining gyms. First thing, great, fantastic, okay? The fact that, one half of the sex is male or female, we're talking about the women today, are joining gyms. Because for every one woman, teenage, late teens, early 20s, girl, young woman that's joining a gym, there'll be about 50 that aren't, okay? So when I talk about the influx, I'm talking about just those that go in, not those that know about gyms, not those that have heard that their friend goes to. These girls that go to gyms. Now, there's a culture that has already started, and I wouldn't even call it a subculture. I'm going to call it a culture or a movement, whatever you want to call it, it's there. And that's for these girls to go to mixed gyms. In other words, gyms where men and women can both train under the same roof at the same time. They are deliberately not joining gyms, women only. There was a big boost in the 90s and probably up to the mid-2000s of these women-only gyms, and quite often they were these franchises that possibly started in the USA and worked their way across Europe into the UK as well, of girl-only or women-only gyms. And then even within that, the age bracket as well, the price point, the age bracket, the location. But personally, I think a lot of these girl-only or women-only gyms are on their way out. And there's two reasons why I say that. Is because if the franchisee or franchisor or the owner or the group of owners who are opening up a gym anywhere with a mirror, a treadmill and a set of dumbbells, you now call it a gym. It's in a bricks and mortar building. It's in a place of commercial retail opportunity. It's now called a gym. Call it what you want, but it's essentially a place where people go and run, lift weights and stretch and what have you. If you're going to open one of those kind of places and you make it for women only, 50% of the population, we'll say, aren't go or can't go because that person has found a magic niche, something no one thought of before, to have a women-only gym. Okay, now those places are on their way out, and the two reasons that come to mind first, one is the retail opportunity or the sales opportunity or the ROI, the return on investment, is halved by 50% because only girls can go in there. And if you can only have a girl or a woman that goes to your gym, okay, not only are you turning away 50% of the population walk by on the internet, through social media, on top of that as well, what you're doing is you are putting out a message to the girls that might have joined the gym. This is just for girls and women only, and therefore you have to talk a certain way, behave a certain way, act, almost play your part just by joining here. And my thoughts are, some women-only gyms aren't just there to let Lisa or Karen, whoever it is, or a little old lady called Mary, lose some weight and lose some body fat, or put on some weight and get some body fat, whatever it is. They're not just there for that reason. My thoughts are, there's a possible culture of these women-only gyms whereby the manager, the owner, or even their members build a almost cult-like status or a cult-like following amongst themselves. They build their own circle of not just girls and women only training in here, but that is the only mindset that exists, not just in this gym, but outside that gym as well. And that is not a healthy way to get into exercise. Yeah. So my advice to your 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, right up to 24, 25-year-old girls, ask your dad, ask your brother, ask your uncle, Ask your sports coach, your personal trainer. We're talking the men. What is the best place for you to go and choose? And 99 times out of 100, if they've got your health and your welfare at heart, okay, they'll say to you, go and join a gym where it's mixed. At the very least, it's mixed. And possibly even go and join a gym where it's not actually, it doesn't say men only, but the look and the feel of it could be men only. Big bodybuilders, weightlifters, powerlifters, doormen, anything like that. Okay, because ordinarily, those guys, they want the girls to go and join their gym because they know that brings in more revenue and keeps the place open. So there's two reasons why people build those places, girl-only gyms. First off, okay, it's two reasons why I think it's flawed. First off, because 50% of the population aren't going to go in by design, and those that do would start to build consciously or subconsciously, build a cult-like or almost anti-male behaviour, because that does happen. It starts in the gym and it spreads outside the gym. And then that girl who trains there, she can bring that behaviour into work, and she can bring back that behaviour into the home, okay? And that is not the gym where you want your girlfriend, your wife, your mum, your sister, or your niece training at. Okay. This movement now of girls joining mixed gyms, again, going back to when I first started, it's great. I think it's really good. Girls go and stand where the guys train. Don't get in our way. Okay, we're normally 9 times out of 10, we're bigger than you, taller than you, heavier than you, and stronger than you. 99 times out of 100, we are. If everything else is equal, you're both training the same times of the week, same days, sleep the same, eat with the same. The odds are you're going to be stood next to someone up to 6'4", 6'5" tall, and considerably heavier than you. Unless, of course, you're a girl that's going in, you're grossly overweight or you're obese, then you may be heavier than the guy stood next to you doing a set of bicep curls, but he's still going to be stronger. So be careful. Choose where you stand carefully, which actually funnels into my next point in this short conversation, and that is with the culture or the movement, of girls joining mixed gyms and wanting to be one of the guys and deliberately standing next to the guys, the men in there, and those guys are again 16, probably up to 50. That's a wide age bracket. And the girls going there with their mobile phones, sometimes with digital cameras and tripods and recording equipment, going into these gyms and literally setting up shop, putting their camera or their video recorder or their tripod. And I've actually, with my own eyes, in real life, last year in a local gym that I was in, I saw a girl, she would have been about 23, 24. She went into the gym and she brought one of those round lights. It's a lighting device that sits on a tripod. I think girls use them, or women use them, perhaps even some blokes as well. They look like the sort of thing you'd get in a hairdresser's or a beauty place. They use them on Instagram and social medias to make themselves look lighter. You know what they're called, I don't know, but it's a spherical, a sort of a sphere or a disc, that illuminates light. I saw a girl set up one of those in a public gym and a tripod and her camera, and proceeded to film herself, I don't know, doing some glute bridge or hip raise. And I had my earphones in at the time. But what I did see while I was training was the general manager or the branch manager of this local health club. He came up to her and I couldn't hear the conversation, but my eyes told me everything else. He asked her to cease and desist recording in a public place. And the girl, because it went on for quite some time, the conversation, and she clearly initially started pushback, why, not understanding or choosing not to understand that she was in a public place and did not have the permission of the gym or the other gym members to record in there. No one gave her in writing or by text message or WhatsApp their permission to record. And this problem is now a thing. You never see girls do that in girl-only gyms or women-only gyms. If it does happen, and it probably does somewhere, I've not yet seen it. There's a reason for it. They want attention. They want male attention. Those girls aren't going into women-only gyms, okay, where there are no men of any description, because the men aren't allowed. That health club has made their rule, as is their want, okay, and it's legal as well to decide not to let men in. Those girls, those Instagram, those WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you call it, Those girls that film themselves in the gym, dressed in next to nothing, and the camera goes around and they're doing it for attention. Okay, that's fine. You want to get attention, all right? Do you? As long as it's legal and within some kind of there's a little bit of ethics and discretion involved. And why is that? Why are those girls going into those gyms and doing the glute bridges and the glute raise and squatting? Quite often squatting relatively lightweight, but with those massive plates that look like they weigh 30 kilos, but in fact they only weigh 5. Fantastic. The fact that you're squatting itself is a really good thing. Lisa, Karen, Mary, whoever you are, I'm all for that. And when they film themselves, again, they're not going in at 6 a.m. and hoping that it's empty, or 11 p.m. and hoping that it's empty. They're going into the witching hour, which Monday to Friday is between 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock, and weekends is normally between 8 a.m. and midday. They want to go in and do their exercise. Fantastic. They want to do it in full view of the guys. Yep. And don't let anyone convince you otherwise. That's exactly why they're doing it. You may be a woman watching this video and try and convince yourself and your friends and even me, send me a comment if you need to, that no, you're special, you're different, you've got the secret sauce, you're not actually doing it for male attention. In that case then, Lisa, Karen, Mary, join a woman-only gym. But the probability is you don't want to. You don't want to go to a girls-only gym because you won't get the attention. Yeah, there'll be some girl in there that'll be looking at you, congratulating you. Wow, you've done your squats, you've done your deadlift. You go girl, you show them girl. But the odds are you don't want that. You want some kind of male attention, whether it be in the gym itself or outside of the gym. Okay. Now let's look at it again. When I showed you this is in the thumbnail, women in gyms. Okay, that is not a negative. This is actually a positive, but I'm putting a slight spin on it. Okay, and the spin is, if you are that girl or that woman that does that, you go to your local health club to seek attention and you spend an hour and a half in there in something that you could do in 35, 40 minutes because you are almost indoctrinated into this culture of going to your local gym or leisure centre. Really, it's one step away from what you consider to be a dating site. And if you get the attention of a guy in there, let's call him Brian. He's going to be 50 or 60 years of age. Let's call him Tom, Oliver, or whatever. He's going to be younger. We're just guessing. If you get the attention of those guys in there and they come up to you and they want to talk to you, or they smile at you, or give you the nod, or ask to be in your video, believe it or not, don't be surprised. Don't act and metaphorically, not physically, metaphorically grab your pearls. Yeah? If you know what that means. Don't do that. Don't seek attention from men in gyms by deliberately going to a gym where the guys are and finding a time when you know it's packed out with muscle-laden lads and whatnot and fit, strong men. Don't do it. Because if you do and you get approached and someone messages you or gives you the nod, or even a little bit of chivalry ego sliding into your attention, they even offer to spot you in the squat rack or the deadlift or the bench press or the shoulder press. Okay, don't be surprised. Don't clutch your pearls and moan at the guys for looking at you the wrong way, okay? Because actually deep down, that's what you want. And if you say to yourself, watching this video, that's not what I want, then go when nobody else is in the gym. Speak to the manager, speak to the owner, one of the other members, and find out when there are literally 0 people in the weight training area. Yeah, because ordinarily, that's where these girls go. I've got a close friend of mine, and he told me, this is a family man in his late 40s, married man with 2 kids, and he's a very close friend of mine, so I take what he tells me as read. He's in a gym in Lincoln City. It's one of these low-budget, cheap gyms. I think it costs about £22, £23 a month to go. Any cheaper, they'll be paying him to go in there. Okay, and he's told me on more than one occasion, when he goes in there, sometimes he's got to jockey around just to get a bit of space, because there are so many girls in there that have almost set up shop. They're one step away from having their own Instagram business in there, or one step away from it being OnlyFans or something like that. Don't quote me on that. Sorry, don't quote me. That's my friend who told me that. And he did say to me, sometimes you've got to move around, and once he finds a space to do his exercise, he can barely move because there's so many of these girls. in their little hot pants and their little white socks and trainers, spread all over the floor, doing wacky exercises. Quite often, they're doing, it's something that's always going to be, they're hardly working on their lats. They're not working on the lats, they're not working on the rear deltoids, calves. It's always glutes, hamstrings, maybe a little bit of abdominals. And I do get it. A lot of these girls want the big round rear, the attractive, strong derriere. Good for you. Strong glutes, strong back. Okay, strong glutes, strong person. All right. Women in gyms, it's here to stay. Okay, the only way I think this behaviour stops, and you can do your own evidence. Go online and you can see there are thousands and thousands of YouTube moments now of girls and women, usually America, sometimes the UK, getting themselves into a situation or a problem in a gym, and 9 times out of 10, it's when they're filming and messing around when the guys, the big boys, are trying to lift properly. Okay, I'm all for mixed gyms. I don't think that there's a business for men only. There's a business for women only gyms. Okay, I understand it. Again, as always, I'm all for capitalism. Create your return on investment or your revenue, Mr. Gym owner, the way that you see fit. It's a free country within reason. So, in the same way that if a group of girls want to go out nightclubbing, out for drinks and whatnot, and they go to bars where the men are in there as well, and even married women, women in relationships, women that have already got a steady boyfriend, when it's a girls' night out, they do not go to women-only bars. They do not go to girl-only nightclubs. 99 times out of 100, they're going to go to a bar, a nightclub, a social gathering spot in town for their night out and spend their hard-earned money in a place that is frequented by men. And even if their end goal is not to go home with a phone number or even go home with a guy, their end goal is to get attention from the men. Yeah, because they are not going to not get attention from the men. If that's the case, they wouldn't go out, they wouldn't go to a mixed bar, a bar or nightclub where there are men and women. They would actively seek out a bar, a restaurant, a nightclub where it's girls only. And the whole girl power thing suddenly goes out the window. They forget in a clique like that about the whole girls allowed, girl power, Spice Girls. That goes out the window because what they want is attention from men. And that's the fit women and the unfit women. That's the attractive women and the unattractive women. And you know who you are, in which category you fall into that. But the end result is the same, attention, which is fine. I'm getting some kind of attention when I'm doing this video. It's just a small amount. I do get some viewers or some listeners on different platforms, but it's for attention. I'm building content for people to watch and listen to, and I've got their attention. And in return, one day they might have my attention by sending me in a comment or a question or contacting me direct. Okay, my channel, my podcast channel is not about becoming rich and famous. My podcast channel is about, as a professional trainer with a lot of experience and the wise old age of 53, of using my eyes and my experience and my instinct, and of course my studies, my ongoing study as well, to put my slant or my spin on the health and fitness world. What's good for us, what isn't good for us, and where there's conversation. All right, so women in gyms, keep lifting, keep pressing, pulling, rotating, running, swimming, lifting, whatever you want to call it. But make the focus of your trip to the gym to be healthier, fitter, and stronger. That's better for you, Lisa, Karen, Mary. Okay, that's not that, and in some ways that could be better for us, because if you're a single woman and you're trying to find a new boyfriend or a date or a future husband, we want you to be strong, fit, and healthy. Okay, possibly more so healthy first. Okay, and there's a wide range of categories of health to talk about. But at the very least, healthy, strong and fit. Better to be strong and fit than weak and unfit, but healthy first, yeah? Mix up your weight training with swimming, Pilates, yoga, a stretching session. But remember, it's my opinion that you should not be going to the gym just to get the guy's attention and then, throw your dumbbell out of the bath, okay? Or spit your dummy out, or clutch your pearls when you get approached, or you get someone give you the eye or something like that, okay? Because really, that's what you're there for. Don't pretend it's otherwise. All right, but the main point in this 20-minute video and coming to the end is I want the women to join the gym. I want women in gyms, yeah, okay? Be safe, be strong, yeah, always ask for advice. You know, you can ask for advice from a woman trainer in there. If there's a woman gym instructor, or even better, a woman personal trainer in there, or another woman that's lifting in there and they look like they can do better than you. Not heavier, just better technique. Ask them. But my advice, ask one of the guys. He's going to be happy to help you. Ordinarily go for someone a little bit older. You know, if you're 20 and there's a 30-year-old man in there, he looks in good shape and he's lifting, ask him. Don't ask a 16-year-old boy, okay, because he's inexperienced as a boy and he'll be highly likely inexperienced in the gym as well. Ask a grown man or a grown woman. That's it. That's today's findings. Women, strip your weight down, strip your body fat down, look after your skin, get your hair done nice, get your teeth done, get your nails done, but more importantly, get in the gym, look after your health. All right, my name's Tristan Lowe. The podcast is the Over 40s Fitness with Tristan Lowe, mid-August 2024. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please feel welcome to comment and subscribe to the channel. It takes a long time to get subscribers when you're not a celebrity or you're not throwing hundreds, if not thousands or even more pounds at the channel. My audience has grown organically, for want of a better word. And actually I'm okay with that because I'm quite a busy man. I've got a business to run as well. So this here is me just creating some kind of content stroke legacy. I don't know what you'd call it, in the hope that you'll join me. And yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until the next one. Bye for now.